Okay, so we are proceeding ahead with the first group discussion for Cochin Shipyard Limited CSL. That is what we are doing. And let me give you the brief of GD. In the group discussion, he will give you a topic and some time to think over that topic, 2 to 3 minutes. You will be provided writing, some paper or pen, but you will not have much time to write, nor you should write much. You should only write couple of, words which you want to use in introduction. GD has three components, three parts. One is introduction part, second is body part, and third is conclusion part. Now, these three components have the format. In the introduction part, you will introduce yourself very briefly to others. You will say, "Hi friends, my name is Sabir and I take the opportunity to initiate the discussion. Let me introduce all of you to the topic." Friends, the topic given today is this. In my opinion, it is a very relevant and thought-provoking topic. I'm sure all of you have important points and good points to contribute, in my opinion, and then you say anything which you want to tell about that topic, maybe one sentence. And then after that, you say, "Now I open the house for the discussion among all of you, and let's hope that we come out with very good points." So that couple of sentences in the introduction, 90% of the sentences are, you have to rote memorize and you have to speak with speed. One sentence or two you have to add from your side. An introduction is all about giving direction to the discussion. You have to give the direction to the discussion, in which direction the discussion should go. That is basically introduction. And direction means if you can classify, if you are in position to give some kind of classification to the entire topic, perspective to entire topic, that will be wonderful. Second is body part. In the body, you will just elaborate whatever introduction you said, or maybe you will agree with others, speak and disagree with others. And at the end is a conclusion. Now, unlike introduction, which is your input, the conclusion is the group conclusion. You have to conclude on behalf of entire group. You have to put the points of others also. Do not only say I word in the conclusion. In the conclusion, word should be we. And in introduction, the I word can be used. I'm of this opinion. But conclusion mein we discuss this, we came to conclusion, we thought this, some of the members thought this, some members said this. So you have to put the view of everyone. Conclusion is very simple. Why? Because you are already putting the things which others have said. And you need to little bit memorize. You need to basically remember what others have contributed, what others have said. That also you need to memorize. So this is all the three formats. And yes, starting and conclusion has a weightage. You get the weightage if you start and if you conclude, that is there. And then this in between, if you contribute, if you enter 2-3 times, that makes the sense. So 2-3 times introduction entry and in that discussion will be wonderful. That is how it is to be done. Is everything clear to us now? Are we ready to proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
all of you are to be visible, then only I'll be in position to give the feedback to each one of you. So please be visible, all of you. And now let me give you the topic. I'll give you a topic and 2 minutes to think, and then you can start. At the end of the discussion, I'm going to give feedback to each one of you. And in my opinion, 5 GDs will be sufficient for you to improve yourself. More the better. There is no limitation from YourPedia. You can practice any number of times, any number of GDs. We'll have multiple GDs. Try to adapt, try to learn very fast. This is the topic for you. For the GD today is, first GD of CSL is learning during COVID. The topic is learning during COVID. Keep yourself mute, all of you, till we start. Learning during COVID. The topic for the discussion is learning during COVID. So I give you 2 minutes and then we start the GD. Okay, so I think now we are ready. Please unmute all of you now. So now we proceed ahead with the discussion. So I start with each one of you. I'll give you 2 minutes to each, and you will basically introduce the topic to each one. So this round, because we are doing practice, so I want each one of you to introduce. So I'll come to each one of you, and you will introduce the topic to all others. All others will keep mute except one in this particular round. So please keep yourself mute. I'll come one by one to each one of you. I start with Sudarshan. Sudarshan, please introduce this topic to others.
Hi, Sudarshan. Uh, Let me introduce to our today's discussion, learning during COVID. COVID basically changed our life during the current scenario. It has a greater impact on the every social aspect, also on learning. It opened up a new ways of learning. It broken all other stereotypes of old things like uh, board learning. So government also has opened so many e-platforms for learning. So let us pour all our ideas into our discussion.
Okay, now Rahul.
Good evening, friends. Myself, Rahul. I am glad to initiate today's discussion, which is about learning during COVID. Before this pandemic came, we ready to face. We initiate the online classes slowly, but COVID pushed us to entirely start depend on the online classes. So this COVID helped us to each and everyone can reach from a corner to all of the world and learn more things about anything. This increase the potential to enhance our capability and knowledge. I am also glad to open this discuss to all of you friends.
Okay, Sobit.
Good evening to all. My name is Sobit. Today we have a very relevant topic, which is learning during COVID times. So we have seen first wave, second wave, and third wave now. So we have seen that how the people are struggling, how the students are struggling to cope up with the new culture. So there are people, students who lost 1 year. Like they did not go to college, they did not go to school. Almost 1 year they were completely spending at home. So the entire scenario has changed. So now it's like a new we have to live with the new norms. So there are many platforms which are coming. So all these things, one restructuring is required. So in that form, it is a very relevant topic to discuss. Yeah, that's it.
Okay, Charan.
Good evening to all my friends. It's very glad to start at JD. Basically, that today's topic we have discussion on learning during the COVID. So it's a really a current relevant subject, current relevant topic which we have, which we get. So let me. So COVID has bring a very challenge to all the sectors. It affects each and every fields like education. It may be education, it may be society, it may be even personal life of anything. So apart from the COVID negative things put on people, there is it brings good things also to the society, like environmental issue. Maybe it may be education. It's provide a new way to adapt a new things, and it's give us a time to rethink, rebuild our new skills. And also there are many digital platforms. They give free educations, so we can improve ourselves as a person, as a individual. So apart from that, we need to take care of ourselves and our family. So it's a there is a good thing also, there is a bad thing also, but it brings a very good in learning education. It's provide a new way of education as as we the people of India. We are new to this online platforms, so it's a time. It was a time to adapt and adjust to the new platforms like this e platforms. So I would like to add to my friend. I would like to add few more points to my friends. Thank you.
Okay, Nias. Nias, unmute yourself.
Good evening. I would like to introduce everyone to our today's topic, like learning during COVID. It's not like studying only, it's like learning what we have learned. And I believe like learning never stops. Every day teaches something new. And during pandemic, it has taught many things to many people and students, mostly for the students, like what's the value of the classes and the value of the basic amenities what we are getting, and to the also the environment what we pay, um, what we do, the same we get as return. So it has taught us many things, and this will be our today's discussion.
Okay, Sabir.
So good evening, friends. So today we have been given a topic which is called learning during COVID. So I think this is the most relevant topic even at this point of time. So we know as this COVID hits, it affects various parts of various parts like economy and society and all. So the one of the important thing which get affected by this COVID is the education system itself. So when we say about this education system, this COVID has its own pros as well as cons in this education system. Like it brings the new technologies for the education purposes, and it opens new platforms for learning purposes. And the most important thing is that it just shifted our concept, that is our the concept that we have been following, the concept about this education that we have even from our childhood. So this like I said, there are many pros as well as cons which has in the education system, which COVID has in the education system. So now I open this group discussion to invite your opinions about this topic.
Okay, Weber.
Yes. Good evening, all of you. I would like to introduce our today's topic, learning in COVID pandemic. So I want to say that learning in COVID not related to study only. We learn many things, like in the we found new ways to learn the things, like we do our work ourselves at home without our help of the house helpers, and we feel the more we miss more to our relatives, family, peers, and all others dear ones. And uh, learning, we found a new way in the form of online education, which is also a very good platform to provide the education in village areas. But there are also some constraints, that everyone has not all the gadgets and facilities to learn on the online platform. And also we saw the many crucial situations, like suffering of migrants workers, and we and that in this way we learn many things some has good experience, like we saw the environmental impact uh, and the healing of the environment in this era. And thank you, everyone. I would like to end the introduction, and thank you.
Okay. So I think everybody is introduced now, and that brings us to the second stage now. The second stage will be from 10 to 15 minutes, and in this stage, you people are to discuss among yourself. Try to maintain the decorum in the house. Try to listen to others. Try to give your points to others, and proceed forward so that at the end we could get a good conclusion. Now I open the house for the discussion. Please proceed ahead now.
Hello, good evening, friends. As we all discussed introduction already, so
Please unmute all of you. Yeah, unmute Sabir. Unmute all of you.
so hello, friends. We have already discussed the introduction part, and now I would like to proceed further in the group discussion. And what I want to say that in the COVID pandemic, when the COVID hit our country, we face many problems like the shortage of oxygen, the shortage of medicines, and many other daily necessaries. So in this era of COVID pandemic, we feel the importance of our family, neighbors, and our friends, because in the difficult time they help us, and also we feel the importance of our house helpers and our workers
Excuse me,
and
Vaishnav, you
many
are
other
deviating
people.
from topic. Vaishnav, you are deviating from the topic. Solely about
think,
learning
we-
during the COVID.
yes, we should stick on to that learning topic here. So, what I want to convey is that there are many advantages as well as disadvantages for learning during this quarantine period and COVID time. So, some disadvantages which I want to convey is that digital India is not that digitally advanced. So there are still rural areas and like remote areas where internet is not accessible. So those students may get difficulty in getting enough classroom like online facilities. So that is one disadvantage. And another thing is there are many online platforms like private in the sense they charge money and they teach. So some like we have seen recently many issues like they are forced to purchase like courses by paying a huge amount and they are not getting enough benefits out of that. They're like they are they get a feeling that parents get a feeling that if my son is not getting that good quality content, they will lag. So they will forcefully pay a certain amount and they do that course. So those things are one disadvantage. I think the government should intervene in that area and they should provide free systems. Like now in recently in budget also our minister has introduced a one channel system. So that is also one good step towards that. So we have a like we know that the three waves are third wave is now on and still there are some schools are closed, so students are again forced to work study at home. So this
Sorry to interrupt, but my friend interrupt me, and I want to say that topic is learning during COVID. So that I think my thinking is saying that the learning is not related to only the education. This learning
Yes.
comprises many other aspects, like
yes.
in our social
Yes, yes.
relations.
I
Uh,
agree, totally agree with one of my friend.
Vaibhav.
So biggest thing what we learned in this pandemic is life is important more than the possessions, and also the value of relationship we have learned, the value of classrooms, online, offline classrooms we have learned, and we need to act that we the human beings are not dominated. All the animals or the living beings are have an equal right to life, that we have already learned, and we need to we
Yes, I agree to Charan's point. Hello.
Yeah,
I agree
Sudarshan,
to
you
the
are audible.
yeah.
Please.
I agree to the point. Just I wanna add into a different dimension of learning, because
yes,
in learning, like in school learning, we won't only see the education. We see the social behavior and everything. This COVID has changed the social behavior learning. It connected the end children to the top universities, but it failed to make the bridge of social learning in children. But when it comes to adult learning are always based on need-based learning. It enhanced the need-based learning. This COVID has enriched the need-based learning, because
yes,
before COVID, we won't be able to have that much open platform to learn what we like. Like we will be having some training institute like that. But now a student from local village can access the MIT professors' lectures. So before COVID also it was there, but the COVID has enhanced the online learning, online platforms. Even governments are getting some initiatives to enhance the online learning. Some state government is also started news channels, like in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu government has started Kalvi news channel. It enhanced the learning for students. Now government has starting channel for competitive exams. So now the opportunity of learning has opened up for everyone. Before it was like some persons from an high degree, high value college can get a higher knowledge. But now just see the scenario, like each and every student he will have the equal opportunity of learning. This COVID has
Uh,
some cons, but it also has very good impact on our learning.
Yeah,
Yes,
Like
I
Dr.
totally
Shivu,
agree to Sudarshan's topic. So I just want to add something. As he said, there is some different dimension for this. As everything, it has also the pros as well as cons. If you are talking about this education or learning, especially in the case of child, we know in these flooring countries, there were this the online system, online education were already prevailing in even before the COVID. But as if we consider our country, that is India, which is developing, these online classes and all were not very popular. But what I felt the good about this COVID is that this COVID helps to bring this new technology to our education system. That is, now our students are very much familiar to what is an online education system, how to behave in how to learn in this online education system, how to make use of different platforms and all. So I think even after in the post-COVID scenario also, these technology will be going to add up to the education system, and the ease of learning will be much more benefited due to this technology addition during these COVID times.
I would
Yeah.
like to add, like the biggest thing what we learned during COVID is like what the mistakes we are doing. Actually, in the lockdown we have realized what are the mistakes of our past. We need to understand it, we have to analyze, and we have to correct it in our future. Actually, this is the biggest learning what every sector has learned. Coming to medical, like they have learned what are the mistakes they are doing, what are the amenities they are lacking in the medical. And coming to education, like what are the education system needs to be changed. Like if at all there is pandemic or there the schools are shut down, like how can they teach to the students? So online platform has come into an act. And coming to the offices work, like many people have to go far and they have to work, they have to travel a lot. And the COVID has brought everyone to like work from home. They have brought new opportunities, like people have started working from their home and they are earning good, and they can spend time with their family. They like there is work life balance. So it has brought many good things, and it has given a chance to rectify our mistakes.
Yeah, I just want to add some points. Yes, like we have learned so many things from COVID: how to work remotely, in each and every sector. Each and every sector in India is developing and learning and getting something from the COVID scenario. Like economic sector, how to get on to more into service things. Those learnings we got from COVID scenario. It's not about education, only education or something. In each and every sector, how it should develop. COVID gave a different perspective to us.
Yeah, I totally agree to that
I would-
point. But I just want to add is that the nature as a teacher itself has taught us some points during this COVID time, because we have seen many situations where during this COVID, the first lockdown times, the human activities like the industries and all were shut down to a great extent. So as a result, this human interventions in the nature is reduced drastically. So we have seen many videos and all showing that how the nature is recovering from all these pollutions and all. So the nature as a teacher is also teaching us what effect that we our activities are creating in this nature. So that is also a biggest learning I think the nature is giving for us.
Yeah,
In that point.
I want to
Yes.
add something that many education platform comes in the picture during pandemic period, like in UP Abhyuday Yojana was launched, and the students benefit by them to the great extent. It is for the UPSC civil services preparation, NDA, CDS, and many others exam preparation. And like CBSE also launched their platforms and apps for the online education. But also we should think about our small children. Small children cannot handle the gadgets properly. They do not know how to handle the app, the education. And if their parents also illiterate, then it become very difficult to learn the things. I saw the things that in my neighbors, small children, they are not going to school since last 1 and 2 years, and they not learning any new thing. So this is the disadvantage also. And I want to add one thing, that being introduced online systems, digitalization gains very fast speed in the COVID pandemic. This reduced the corruption, but also at the same time we saw during pandemic, like corruption increase, and the other side, like remdesivir injection being sold duplicate.
Sorry to interrupt.
And
When you
okay,
are
okay.
deviating from the yeah.
I
The
would
thing
like
I would
to
like
say
to
that
add some points.
that my
Why-
perception of the topic is this is not related to study only.
Yes,
This
yes,
is
yes.
Yeah,
This is
actually,
actually
I said
Vaibhav.
the Vaibhav said some relevant point. Like when we talk about this learning, not only this education, but we should also learn how to handle this online platform maturely. Like the children may be opened up to a new world that is which is connected by internet. They are easy to access any content which is available in internet. So I think in addition to this education that we are providing, we should also give some moral, that is a social moral. We should be a social media means how to use this online platform, the moral that we have to follow in these online classes and all these things. This is also this is also part of learning during this COVID time, I think.
Okay.
Yeah,
So I think this
Mainly for
Vaibhav
the
said a good point.
the thing
I
is,
would like to
this
add
is for
COVID
people who are like for
third eye,
students.
a different time
Well,
learning.
yes, yes,
So,
yes.
yeah.
the
Please,
one thing,
Sobit, go ahead.
yeah, the one thing is it impacted different verticals of our life differently. So it has some pros, it has some cons. We have to take good, and we have to reduce the bad impact. So we are the persons who changes the system. So we have to make more implementations, and if we see some cons of COVID, so we should try to reduce those things.
Okay, so now I think we conclude, and I give chance to each one of you 1 minute to conclude. Each one of you will get chance to conclude 1 minute. Make sure conclusion should not be only your point, it should be the discussion which you had in the group. I again start from Sudarshan. Please conclude, Sudarshan.
Yes, that was a very good discussion. So I have learned so many things. So as all we said, COVID learning has changed our perspective on life, not only on learning or life. So when coming to all every sector learning, like the social problems we got because of COVID, the social learning we got, economic learning we got, industrial learning we got, as our friend Sabir said, like teachers learning we got. The world is getting onto a different era after COVID. So COVID has some negative impacts too, but we have to get on with that life. Then we have to try to reduce that. So thanks for giving me the opportunity to conclude.
Okay, now Rahul.
Okay, I take this opportunity to conclude this discussion. I learned a lot from this discussion that what happened due to this huge impact of COVID. COVID give us so many experiences that we don't know before, and also COVID showed us what we have to focus on about the life, society, politics, and everything, education, etc. So from this discussion, we conclude that COVID has some pros and also cons. So this was a good, healthy discussion, and I conclude this discussion. Thank you.
Okay, now Sobit.
We had a very wonderful discussion regarding the learning during pandemic. So everybody has contributed well to this topic. Like other than education sector, many other like social improvements which we got, and the work from home facility, like Mia told, and all the environment is getting better. And why Sudarshan has told about the for an adult it is always need basis. We can like we have unlimited access to internet, and also it's always there are good things as well as there were like some bad things also discussed, like the facility in getting the digital like digital, like in a rural area we don't have that facility. So all these points were discussed, and I think like almost everything was covered regarding this topic. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to participate in this.
Okay, Charan.
Yes, it was a very healthy discussion for all of us. We had a great time. Now it's time to conclude. As my friends all most of them all covered many things and give their own perspective. Here I would like to give my own perspective and conclude this part. We have learned in so many ways, like in where we need to improve our life, where we need to improve the system and society, and how to improve our education, how to improve our medical, how to take care of our precious planet Earth. So it brings a new dimensions, it brings a very new dimensions of thinking to take care of ourselves and our family, as well as our precious earth also. So I would like to conclude this part as of now. Thank you.
Yes.
I would like to conclude the session by saying that we have to be an optimist person, and we have to learn everything with enthusiasm, because everything happens, it happens for a cause. And the main thing we have to remember that we are human beings and we have to show the human nature. Thank you.
Okay, now come to Sabir.
Okay, so we had a healthy discussion on the topic learning during the COVID. So we have discussed the different dimensions of this topic. So some have discussed about this education part, and somehow discussed about the learning from the nature. And then we have also discussion on this social impact, the social learning that we have during this period. Now, while coming to this education, some people, we have discussed some pros as well as cons during the education system, and the various schemes which have been put forward by the government for reducing the demerits of these the current situations and all. So, and in the social aspects, we have seen the work from home aspect and all. And from the nature view of point, we have seen what the nature teaches us during this COVID period. So I think we have covered a good view. We have covered a good scope in this topic, and we have some good and relevant relevant discussion in this. So so I would like to conclude this GD, and thank you.
Okay, now Weber.
Yes, I would like to conclude that we missed some important point. I would like to tell that point that uh, 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 first time we discussed the issue of mental health seriously during the COVID pandemic, the first learning, and the some other learning that as the online things going at very high speed in the COVID pandemic. Then also we witness the increase in the cyber crime. So we learn the this things also, and we think some new ways in the online education sector, like the some industry like online education industry goes high, and other industry went down, and some new ways of medicine like telemedicine be introduced it at the mass level during COVID pandemic. And thank you, sir. I would like to thank.
Okay. So let me now give marks to each one of you and feedback of each one of you, and that you listen carefully. So 6 marks is the marks from where you should start, and 8 marks if you get from me, that means you are ready. So before your actual GD, try to get 7.5 or 8 marks from me for entire GD. 6 marks is the minimum level. All of you are below that. 6 level, say you are below. You have to come to 6 level, and then you have to come to 6.5 7.5 level for GD. I have divided the marks for all of you in 3 sections: introduction, body, conclusion. I start with Sudarshan.
Yes, sir.
I'll give 5 marks for introduction to you, Sudarshan, 5.5 for body, and 5.5 for conclusion. You did not initial couple of lines which I told you did not speak those lines. Good evening, friends. My name is Sudarshan, and I initiate the topic for you. Topic given today is the learning from COVID. Friends, is a very interesting and important topic. And then you should have introduced the topic to all of them. I mean, you should have given some kind of direction. You did not give direction. Then you started speaking something like the way you do in the body part. You started explaining everything in the introduction. You do not have that much of time. People will not let you speak. You need to only tell a couple of things. Introduction, direction, basically. You talk about COVID increasing online learning. Later on in the conclusion, you mentioned that, okay, we can divide in social, industrial, economic sectors and all. That division should have been done in the introduction, actually. Which you did in the conclusion was to be done here. So what you did in introduction was what is to be done in body. What you did in the conclusion was to be done in the introduction. So this is how it is divided for you. Overall, you will get 5.5 marks as of now. Then I come to Rahul. Rahul started with low energy, 4.5 for introduction, 4 marks for body, and 4.5 for conclusion. So Rahul, body you did not enter again and again. You did not speak much in the body part. Body is where you should enter 3-4 times during 10-15 minutes. So introduction, you started with low energy and you talked about online classes. You just spoke. It was very vague. There was no direction. You did not give any direction to the discussion. You kept on telling others like you are deviating from the topic, but you did not add anything in the body part. Conclusion was also, you said COVID has pros and cons, but that actually is not the topic. Topic is learning from COVID. And you understand with me, learning is always good. Learning is not bad. Even if you're learning something bad, that learning is good in itself. When you come across some accident or when you fail in some exam, that failure may be bad, but the learning from that failure is always good. So you should have known the topic. And my one advice to all of you is, do not deviate from the topic. If you keep around the topic, speak around the topic, you will pass the GD. Those of you who will deviate a much, the topic is not advantage, disadvantage of COVID. Topic is not that, but pros and cons of COVID. Topic is learning from the COVID. So understand, COVID is a very important thing. Almost everywhere COVID has been asked. And in your CSL also, it is going to be asked. So understand what the topic given is. I'll give 4, 4.5 and 5.5. तो शोभित का continuously increase हुआ है. Introduction में सबसे कम marks है, and then after that शोभित got in body and then he got in conclusion. He talked about first and second waves, struggling people, etc. So advantage, disadvantage. So whatever Shobit said in the introduction was actually negative thing is about COVID. So we had bad time with disadvantage, etc. Topic is not that. Shobit, COVID no doubt was bad, but do not tell about the bad things about the COVID. Had the topic been bad things about the topic, what you said is good. Advantage, disadvantage of COVID, that is not the topic. So later on you mentioned about restructuring digital India and all, that is okay. So what you have spoken is good. I mean, introduction was the worst for you and then conclusion was the best for you. This is how you have gone. Charan again 4, 4.5 and 5. Charan has also increased. So Charan started with very low energy, no flow. Charan was fighting to speak. He was hesitating in speaking. So Charan was not able to speak. And he said there is a challenge in every sector. There are negative things, there are good things, there are good things, there are bad things. So Charan misunderstood the topic. Topic is not good or bad things of COVID. Topic is learning from the COVID. Good learnings, nothing like bad learnings, only good learnings. Good learnings in the sense what you have learned of COVID. Through bad experience also you learn. COVID is a bad experience, no doubt about that. COVID is not good. Somebody asks you COVID is good or bad. So COVID is not good actually. It is bad. But learning is good and bad. So he said life is more important than possession. That is what we have learned. Those lines were good, Charan. So conclusion part mein you talked about the topic. That is good. So Niaz said, Niaz ko I'll give 4.5 and 5 and then again 4.5. Niaz, you concluded very fast. Only one line and then you end it up. Learning never stops as per Niaz. He started like this. He taught many things to, basically taught many things to the people. That is what he said in the introduction. And those things, I mean, that is how Niaz you started, but you in the body also you did not enter much, and conclusion also you abruptly ended the conclusion. Niaz, you should not do that. You should speak a little bit more. Sabir, I will give 6 marks in the introduction. Sabir has energy. Sabir could speak. Flow was there. Then Sabir, I'll give you 5 in the body. You entered less, and then 6 in the conclusion. So Sabir ka performance was good. Good in the sense among you, not otherwise. Among you people, Sabir ka performance was better because he could speak and he could talk with energy. He talked about an education system. The topic was not only about education system. It was about all the systems, all the sections, all the aspects, not only education. You guys are into education does not mean topic is about education. Had you been doctors, you would have talked about the health. So topic is generic. You should have talked about health also, education also, economy also, culture also, society also. Why you talked only about online education? So new technology, new platform, good energy. So I mean, you talked about this, and you have energy level is good, but your direction was missing. Good thing about the COVID and all these things you were talking about, but actually we are not talking about good things about COVID. So then Weber comes. Weber ka introduction was pathetic, 4 marks only. And then 6 and 6. Weber could speak in the body part. Weber was having less hesitation among all of you. So Weber was speaking, and that is the first requirement. You should speak actually. So flow problem was there with Weber. Family missing, people are missing the near and dear one of the families and all. All in education has. Please mute yourself, all of you. So. Yeah, so that Weber was having these kind of things. He later on talked about learning, social learning and all these things. So Weber ka introduction part was not good, but body and conclusion mein he could participate more. Now this is all about your feedback. Now let me tell you what can be the best way and what is the common mistake from all of you. Common mistake is you could not divide the topic. What is the most important thing is understand the topic and please speak around the topic. The topic was learning from the COVID. So good evening friends, my name is Rahul and I take the opportunity to initiate the topic and initiate the discussion. The topic, let me introduce you to the topic which is learning from the COVID. Learning is always good friends, whether it is from the good experience or it is from the bad experience. COVID certainly was a bad experience individually at the level of society, country and world. It was a bad experience. For humanity, it was not good at all. But yes, human beings are adapting species and we learn from even bad experience, and that is what has happened. We have learned from even bad experience like COVID. So friends, let's divide entire topic into couple of categories. What is the learning at individual level? What is the learning at organizational level, institutional level? What is the learning at society level? And what is the learning at national level or government level? So I open the house for discussion among all of you. So you have to divide the topic into learning. Individual level, what did you learn? Hygiene, safety, so protocols. What is the safe behavior? What kind of behavior you have to display? Hand, mask. This is what you learned. Maintaining a social distancing. Social distancing is something which you learned. Nowadays you use the mask. Even pollution ke time pe you have to use mask. But COVID taught you to use mask, not pollution. Now this learning you can later on use. Individual level. Value of the family. What is the family? Spending time with the family. COVID taught you. Right? So freedom, which you take so granted. Freedom of movement, which you take so granted. This is something the learning at your individual level. So then, value of saving money. This is what you learned at individual level. Adaptability you learned. Individual level pay you learned many new opportunities, options, how to explore new options. The teachers learned how to go for online education, individual level. Then organizational level. If I give example of IT sector, they learned how to go for online education, work from home, educational institutes, they learned how to basically teach students online. Schools, learning of schools, colleges, IT company, pharma company, what is the learning at their level? Work from home is the gift of COVID. Now people are using is as alternate. So new business domains, digitalization of your business, organization level. Society level pay, value of human being, value of life, you understand, value of safety, society level. And country, national level, how to basically create your own resources. When everything borders close, then you have to survive. So what is the value of proper implementation of the policies, government level. So all these things you can divide the learning into different categories. That is how you should have divided this entire topic. So the moment you give classification, then after discussion of that classification is very easy. Now once you have divided it, now let's talk about what is the learning at individual level. You give your own examples. In any GD, if you give examples, that is always very good. Give your own example, that what did you learn? I learned this. I learned the value of staying at home close to my parents and how to manage the things. So those kind of things, examples you can quote and divide the things and then speak on that. So that's all. This is how you should have spoken. Now let me tell you what is to be done. The topic which I gave you, you will take this topic as a write-up also. One page you will write. Introduction, you will make 2 paragraphs of body and then conclusion. You will write that on a blank page very clearly with hands, and then WhatsApp me in the same group with your name. I will see it. I will give the feedback of each one of your write-up in the WhatsApp group itself. So we will club the GD and write-up as a particular thing. So 1 hour GD, half an hour write-up, and 10 minutes HR. If you do that, then 1.5 hours every day, you will be wonderfully prepared. Go back now, sit on your table, whatever I've told you. Learning from COVID is the topic on which you have to write. Introduction, body, and then conclusion. The value will be given to flow, clarity of thoughts, your writing skills, beautiful writing, and the moment I give you feedback. Multiple students, I'll give you feedback. So in one go, you will start knowing that, okay, this is how I'm to write. These are the mistakes I'm doing. So do it every day. Do it as a, not even if it is not 16th Feb for you, you do it alternate day and you'll be very well prepared. Similarly, HR, and the things will be done. Got my point now? What you have to do? You have to write immediately. Things are there in your mind. So learning from COVID, write up. You write it, 1 page, very clear. Take the photograph of that, good photograph, send on the WhatsApp group with your name. I'll read it and I'll tag that your write-up and send my audio clip. What are your mistakes and what are your marks? And then accordingly, we'll proceed forward. Is this everything clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Chalo, I take leave of you now and do it meticulously. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.